trailer, I don't know if you all get them, but I get people all the time that come up to me in Tractor Supply or something like that with a complaint that they talked to somebody about her. So just to let the residents know, it has to be a formal written complaint where the township cannot act upon it, do anything. And although you may have been looking at it for 6 months, we don't know you've been looking at it for 6 months unless you tell us. So it's always a story of like, it's been like that. They've only mowed it once last year, as we've heard, but we don't know unless you come and fill out a written complaint.
It's a form.
We just don't, yeah, there's a form. We just don't know unless, particularly some of these longer side roads or whatever, but we'll be happy to run over and do something. Absolutely.
Are those forms online?
They are online. And they're
Yeah, they
here
are.
at the township, so they are on the website.
What you gotta remember is I'm just now moving back out to my parents' house.
Okay.
So that's why I wasn't living there. I was taking care of it and maintaining it. Now that I'm living there, that's why I wanted
You
these
can see it more.
answers. Because I'm living out here permanently now.
Okay.
That's why I'm trying to get the answers so I know how to handle things in the future.
Yeah, there's one kind of behind you in the plan over there, and there was a couple of people that were just leaving phone messages anonymously, and I feel bad because we really can't act on them. You know, they'll leave a message on the phone, so it's just more for the residents to please fill out the form so Tammy can.
He doesn't do it online, he sees Laura and gets a copy of the form.
Absolutely, she has them right next to her desk.
Dennis, I have a question. Can't a supervisor, when they see that type of a thing on the chain road, institute a complaint so that it's resolved? Why do we have to wait for a resident to do it when a supervisor drives past it every day and sees it?
As long as the.
Why can't you just take action?
Well, so, what she's talking about, some places have a complaint made, so the supervisor, if they wanna make a complaint, a written complaint, that's
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, we pass that all the time, and everybody's passing that. Why can't
Well,
the supervisor just?
But here's the other thing, you had the fire report. You guys had to know about the fire on McShane Road. That was back in February.
Yeah.
So, your zoning officer doesn't ride down every.
But what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
complaint.
but you knew about the fire.
I knew about the fire, yeah.
Right, so, I mean, that's why I said, didn't everyone think about, just checking out because you all knew about it? That's all I'm asking. It was a trailer. I mean, the trailer was from the 70s.
Yeah, I don't know that any of us thought, you hear about the fire, it goes right by until somebody says, hey, there's nothing happening here. Hey, did they get, I don't know if they got a demolition permit there. There's so many permits that come through here. But if you want to tell the supervisor, and the supervisor wants to do a written report, but that's how Tammy reacts to, she has to go to court with the people, so she needs a complaint when that happens. Like, some of them are pretty obstinate to clean up their property. And Tammy has to go to the magistrates and be in court with them, and she has to have a written complaint with her when she does. So.
I gave him to Tammy. I gave Tammy.
DAWC road openings and projects. This was, TJ's item late in the game.
Yeah. So, Janice handed me, I guess we got some permits, was that last week, Janice?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania American wants a road opening permit for water lines under, Patterson Road, I think from 88, up to Holt Road, which is a decent distance, about 3,000 feet. It does go right past the EQT well site. Ken attended a pre-construction meeting maybe, yesterday. So our office will review that application, but, first thing that comes to mind is there's an HHA between the township and EQT, for the use of that road, and they're gonna be excavating that road and then, ultimately repaving that, Dennis. So, that condition assessment that we did, earlier this year is,
EQT.
yeah, not gonna be necessarily valid anymore. So I don't know if there's anything that needs to happen with the HHA, that's why I'm bringing it up. The other part of this is that
So
Pennsylvania,
have they made applications?
Mhm.
How many applications have they made?
just the one for Patterson Road.
Okay. It's a
How
road
does that
opening,
affect EQT?
probably
If anything, it'll affect their heavy hauling agreement. You know, they're responsible for any damage to the road that their vehicles do while they're using it. And we have a baseline
What
pre-use.
about egress and all that good stuff?
Well,
Their vehicles aren't coming that way. They're all coming from Philly already.
yeah, I mean, there'll be traffic implications there while they're putting the
That's
water
what
line.
I'm saying,
Sure.
they're not talking, compacts going up in there, they got major pieces of equipment,
Yeah. Yeah, excavators and trailers, yeah.
building equipment.
The other part of this is that, you know, we did issue a road opening permit to Pennsylvania American earlier this year, January, for Beverly Road, which they did the work over there, and they haven't, as far as I know, they haven't done the, final surface restoration over there. They're
No.
responsible to pave that road now that they've come through that, they haven't done that yet.
It ain't done.
That needs to happen, but I just wanted to bring up, we did get a rather substantial road opening permit for the water company in the same exact vicinity that EQT has a heavy hauling agreement, so I don't know if that impacts anything with the heavy hauling agreement, Dennis, but I'll send you the application, you can take a look at it, but I picked the applications up today, so Banks will start to review them.
you said applicate, just,
Just the one, yeah, sorry, thank you.
I got a question. Does Casper Coliseum get a hold of you to let you know when they're gonna do that resurfacing?
Yeah, they'll need to notify the
They will.
township and our office, yeah.
Cause that's what I was,
You can ask them after the meeting.
about that one over on, Ross Street.
Okay, can we talk after?
After the meeting?
Well, okay,
Okay, you CT'd everything. Okay, it's a long one. All right. Approval of invoices from the escrow account dated May 23rd, 2025 in the amount of $12,377.56. I'll make you make a motion to approve? Carl made the motion, I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Approval